Yep, we're good.
Bang! The White House has just been shot, and the Secret Service isn't going to know about it for 4 days. Why do we care? Well, what does Churchill, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy all have in common? They were all powerful leaders of powerful nations during their time. And as American citizens, it is our job to make sure that our leader is protected. Otherwise, this nation won't be lasting long. So today, we're going to go over 3 points. The first point is the Secret Service and a brief history. Then, we're going to go over notable security breaches over the past 5 years. And third, potential security that they do have, what we know about it, and what we don't know. So, with that, why should we care about the Secret Service? A little bit of history about them. Why? Well, knowing about something is going to help you prepare for the future. So knowing where the Secret Service came from is always going to be invaluable knowledge. So, with that, the Secret Service was originally created, according to the Secret Service's own website, secretservice.gov, on July 5th, 1865, by then-President Abraham Lincoln, on the day he was assassinated. Then, in 1901, the Secret Service then went from just handling monetary issues and securing our nation's funds to going and protecting the president 36 years after they were created. 36 years it took for the Secret Service to actually start protecting the president. Then, in 1902, they started protecting him 24/7. Before then, it was the different organizations. The U.S. Army, Common Police, different people would be protecting him at different times of the day. Then, in 1908, President Roosevelt changed the Secret Service from being part of the Treasury Department to the Justice Department. Then, between 1908 and 1961, it went from going from just protecting the president to the vice president, former presidents, up-and-coming presidents, and their families. Why do we care? Well, this shows a long track record. They've been protecting the president for well over 100 years. And somebody who's been doing a job that long should be pretty competent in their job. I mean, come on. But over the past 5 years, we have noticed severe security breaches. In 2014, according to Bashir and Escada of CNN, a White House jumper was able to go into the White House from the front door, go down through the entrance hall, through the cross hall, into the East Room, and finally was stopped when he tried to enter the Green Room. That's pretty far that anyone's made it into the White House. Then, in 2011, as I stated earlier, a person shot out of his car 8 shots into the front of the White House. Nobody knew about it for 4 days until a maid, of all people, noticed broken glass and a cement chunk. 4 days. If somebody shot your house right now, I'm pretty sure you would know about it instantly. Then, in 2009, according to Goler from Fox News, Michelle and Tariq Saleh made it to a White House state dinner and were not even on the guest list. They walked through 2 security checkpoints and were able to shake the hand with President Barack Obama. And it wasn't known that they were there until they posted the pictures on Michelle Obama's Facebook account. They didn't know. They were able to get right next to the president, walk out of the White House, and for a few days, nobody knew. Those 3 incidents shows severe security breaches. But what can we do? Well, that's what we're going to be covering right now. Adding security. Well, according to Mark J. Sullivan, the director of the United States Secret Service back in 2009, he said at a congressional hearing, quote, any questions regarding our security procedures will need to be discussed in a closed setting. What does that mean? Well, what that means is he's not going to talk about it. Why? Because the Secret Service wants to keep secret. they don't want to let everyone know what they're doing. So how can we go and talk about adding security and all that when we don't know? Well, what we do know. In 2014, the guy was able to jump the fence because the security sensors that detect if somebody jumped the fence or not were off, and nobody knew about it. So maybe they should talk about, checking those things on a daily basis and seeing if those sensors are on. Then, in 2011, the person who was in duty of the Secret Service at the time thought that it was machinery backfiring from a construction yard and told everyone to stand down. The president could have been shot, and he tells everyone to stand down. Then, in 2009, with the incident, those people looked the part that they belonged there, but they weren't on the guest list. They should have looked and saw that they weren't there, followed the procedures that were placed down, and told them to leave. But it's showing that these people are not actually following their security procedures properly. But what else can we do? Those are just showing the examples of the Secret Service not following what they're supposed to be doing. Well, there are a few discussions going around right now on Fox News and CNN and all the major news networks. Talks about bending the fence bars down. If you were to bend those fence bars down, that changes the look of an iconic building. We could add more security that way and prevent people from jumping the fence, but we have to weigh whether or not it is worth changing the security, changing the look of an iconic building. That, inevitably, is for everyone else to decide. It's up to us as citizens of the U.S. to think, should we change an iconic building or worry more about the security of the president? Something that you're all going to have to think about, because every great nation requires a great leader. So we have talked over security breaches. First we talked over brief history of the Secret Service, notable security breaches, and then a little bit about what we do and don't know about the security currently. With that, I'd like to conclude by saying it's all important to us, because our great nation is going to require a great leader. With that, I'd like to thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.